Namaste. Hi, I'm Cora Wen, and I'm a yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga for about 23 years in the United States. And I know there's a lot of conversation about yoga nowadays, contemporary yoga in the modern age, and the marketing of yoga, and the shifting of the tradition to the modern, and how do we manage this. And there's all kinds of opinions. I have them myself. But I recently had the privilege and honor to receive an incredible blessing as a yoga teacher. I recently have just spent time helping one of my students into his final Shavasana and his final pranayama, heading toward that breath, that one breath that we are all heading toward. And it was an incredible gift and a difficult one. So, to back up, in the tradition of yoga, we say that pranayama is not just the control of breath, but it's actually more that it's a practice of breathing till you can understand the inhalation and the exhalation. And so that you can practice, so that when the next breath does not come, we will have no fear. So we practice pranayama to prepare for the last breath, for the one that might not come. And the sutras also tell us that every person, even the wisest of us, has a fear of death, abhinavesha. And so the pranayama practice will help us just receive and perhaps move out of this life with as much ease as possible. And the client that I have worked with, Mike, I had worked with for about 11 years. I saw him every week, most weeks, most months. So if I saw him 3 times a week for a private session for 11 years, we spent a lot of time together and shared time, like the evolution of person. So when we began, we did active poses. He's a big guy, really big guy, tall, large person, and I'm small, not so large. And so working with him was always interesting because he lived in a very different body than mine, but we shared the experience of life, right? And I was able to take him from these active poses when he was still really active and mobile, right, to situations where he became less active, less mobile. So we went from standing poses and headless headstand to poses using, the wall to hold on to or chairs to sit on to support weight. To then just restorative poses where they were more passive and receptive. To then just breathing, pranayama, easy, simple pranayama. And in the course of those 10 years, he turned 60 and then 70. And I remember around his 60th birthday, he came to Montana with me. He rode his motorbike from California to Montana. So I always remember Mike on the bike at the yoga retreat. And he was really happy there, enjoyed it so much, the community, the practice, the meditation. In fact, he blamed me the rest of his life for something that happened there. He blamed me for starting his meditation practice, which carried him through the end of his life, and he brought to his family as well. And we went through all of his difficulties. When he had kidney stones, we worked on them to get them out. Some internal organ problems, physical aches and pains. A lifetime of carpentry and contracting can wear and tear on your body. We went through cancer, prostate cancer, heart issues, a quadruple bypass, and then finally a stroke. I realized in the hospital, when we were just waiting for the passage, life support was off, and they were treating him for pain predominantly. I realized that one of the reasons that perhaps it was not easy, but perhaps that a part of me could hold this, was that I had spent 11 years, 3 times a week, ending our session in Shavasana, corpse pose. And I had watched him for so many years, breathing in and out, sometimes with difficulty, sometimes with ease, but just watching, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And near the end, his meditation teacher came to say goodbye as well. And without really realizing it, suddenly I realized that she had her hand on his left shoulder and I had my hand on the right shoulder. And that we were both wishing him metta. Tonglen. I was chanting the Gayatri mantra for passage. And the last breath, the last breath that we take in this lifetime is often a difficult one. Abhinavesha, the fear of dying. And it was the most incredible, easy breath that I ever witnessed in my entire life. You didn't even notice. he didn't fear this passing. Perhaps the pranayama and the yoga and the meditation helped ease that passing from this life. Perhaps the meditation, yoga, and pranayama helped ease in this life. When I said goodbye to Mike, when he passed, I held my hands on his feet and just thanked him for being my personal guru of why we teach yoga, why we practice yoga. Why did I do this for 23 years and give up careers? You know, I was just at the point of not wanting to teach anymore. And our conversations, which were often about death, often about Buddhist concepts. And I was saying that I didn't want to teach anymore. And I remember Mike saying, "What are you going to do?" And my answer was always, "I don't know." So, thank you, Mike, for giving me the purpose and the reason to keep sharing this practice. Because yoga heals in more ways than we can understand. And this practice of yoga, pranayama, yoga asana, pranayama, and meditation might help some of us be as brave as my student and my teacher, Mike, to just slide So I thought that this was important somehow. I don't really know how. But the story seemed somehow important. With all the conversation about what is yoga. I don't know anymore. But I know that it helped this person when it really counted. And if I had anything to do with it, it is an honor and a privilege to be a yoga teacher. To share this esteemed art and science. May we never forget it. So, just for a moment, let's sit. So, remember, the first step is to get the alignment of your body just right. And then settle into it. And begin to relax. Deeply, consciously. Name Same Karenche, as we say in the high, high mountains. Between the earth and sky, my deepest gratitude. Thank you for the practice of yoga. May we all find our place and our way home. Namaste.